that the apple? Let me try it. Bitch, I almost stole one from your fridge yesterday.
I haven't had the sandia yet. I need to try it. Period. Right?
Bitch.
No, Patty, it's so good. And then they have the ice crush, and it tastes like a
this tastes
popsicle.
like I just bit into a Fuji apple.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's better than apple juice in my opinion.
It's so fucking good.
And fun fact, that's my first ever bloom I've ever tried.
Yeah, bitch. So, but you have to try the other one, the ice crush. Like, it's so fucking good. I haven't tried the sandia one.
Oh, that sounds like it'll be good.
At the house.
I was gonna let it go. I said
at the house.
Period. At the house. Don't play with her. At the house.
Satanas.
Hey guys.
I'm Melissa.
I'm Patty.
We are
Efecto Podcast.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed last week's our last episode.
Yeah.
I keep saying last week, but we are on a bi-weekly schedule. So last episode.
Yes. We hope you enjoyed last episode. I know a few of you reached out to us.
Yeah.
Which is honestly, it's the best feeling ever because it's like, one, we're putting this out there for hopefully one of you, someone to just connect and listen to us. And the fact that multiple people reached out, like that was like, yeah, definitely touching. And even what you mentioned about like, you know, the hairdresser, what's his name again?
Jay.
Hey,
Jay.
hi.
Slay with Jay.
First of all, you slayed her hair.
Oh my God, guys.
Tell you.
I keep forgetting that I dyed my hair, but I'm fully red.
It's so good.
Like I just went in wanting, I told him, I was like, I love what you did last time. I still want it to be deep, but I want a little bit more red to peek through. And he executed it. I was like, oh, I didn't know I wanted this until I saw myself. I was like,
yep.
Yes.
The fire, the Aries.
No, literally, it's Aries season. Sorry for the heat wave. we came up from hell.
No, but yeah, you say that. But yeah, like Patty was telling me how, you know, you guys had a conversation about like just the episode and stuff too. And again, it just, it means a lot. And I'm glad that a lot of you were able to connect. I know my cousin also reached out because we don't have like heart to hearts like that. So the fact that, you know, she is one of the strongest like people that I know and she reached out and it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah. And even my sister-in-law was died. She was like, I just watched your episode. Even though I know she does, hearing like, oh, I just watched your episode. Like I'm like
oh, hold on.
my gut instinct is why. Like, don't do that. Like, just like it's weird to me because again, I feel like I get so vulnerable on here and I'm not vulnerable.
Actually, a different side
I feel like
us.
I think with her I am a little bit more vulnerable than anyone else in my bloodline.
Yeah.
Except Bubba.
Yeah. Oh, Bubba.
But she was like, dude, it was so funny. She was dying when David asked us, what's something that we learned? No, that that we like learned about like womanhood or something from from the women in her life, some shit like that. Like, or what do you want to take her past down? And she was like, I love how you guys basically said nothing.
I'm like, listen, we remember the word aligned. We're both aligned.
Eso sí.
So
Eso sí.
We're not gonna lie.
And we're part of the same family, so
I know. You will connect those dots.
We see the correlation, mama.
Yeah. And then I know the one thing like we said, like we're gonna pass down is really just our culture, where we come from. So you know?
Yeah, 1,000%. And also that's kind of why we wanted to continue the conversation because we got such good feedback from the last one. And I feel like there were so many, like, we touched on so much. Like, there were micro themes within the entire episode. And we're like, okay, let's just expand on the conversation because, again, there's still so much to unpack there. And it's still International Women's Month.
Yes.
We're in the last 2 days of it.
Which is insane.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Like
I don't want it. I don't want it.
No.
No, but we just wanted to continue the conversation, and literally to Mely's point, like we want to continue to pass on our culture and yes, there are traditions, but there's still so much to evolve.
Yeah. And I think that's something that we've said since the start when starting this is really just breaking those cycles and getting out of, those ways. Like, yeah, there's so much, like, our culture is so rich, it's so beautiful, and like that's something we want to continue to embrace. Hence, even the name of our podcast and why we started this. But like to that point, like there's just a lot that just the way that we were raised or and certain ways of thinking and whatnot that we want to break that for our children. One, for
1,000%.
ourselves, we're doing that on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
but go forward for the people around us, for our children, for, yeah, like there's so much to change.
There's so much. And I think also, like, you're probably, maybe someone out there's thinking, okay, but why? What? We're
Yeah,
not saying there's anything bad about it, but like, somos de aquí y de allá. Like,
exactly.
our parents are, like, we're first generation. Our
Yeah.
parents, born in Mexico,
Cool.
came here, struggled. They all individually had their own types of struggles. They witnessed different things, just like we witnessed our parents to some degree. Some people, maybe I don't, I saw probably like a bit of struggle. I feel like the majority of the struggle was before they were even in the US. Um, but still, like, I understand that. And I think there's a lot that was passed down and is just ingrained in us. And that is so beautiful that we're not trying to get rid of. But there's also a lot of toxicity.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unhealthy habits
Yeah.
that are just part of the culture and tradition. And just because it's tradition doesn't mean that I'm going to blindly follow it.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that right there, and yeah, like we're gonna get into it, but really sticking to that fixed mindset of like, no, things can have to be this way. It's been this way for so long. But just because it's been this way or you were brought up this way does not mean that you have to, continue that with us, with like, in the family. And my dad and I have a lot of conversations around like, yes, to Patty's point, he had a very rough childhood. There was a ton of things that he had to go through with his parents at a very young age. And one thing that him and I, that at least we agree upon, he still has that mindset. But he said, the one thing that I never wanted to do with you was what my dad did with me. And like that, I'm so grateful for. However, there's still certain things that he's like, well, I did this. Tú no sabes lo que es sufrir. Tú no sabes, like, all of these other things where it's like, it's completely different. I'm like, what you went through, yes, it's completely different than what I have to go through now or whatnot. But just because it's not the suffering that you inhaled, which was working at a very young age and figuring it out, doesn't mean I'm not mentally going through it or I can't and I can't have those feelings. And I feel like that's one thing that you see constantly within like our, community or culture or whatnot. It's like that, like, why are they suffering? Why are they this? Like,
Oh,
there's
girl,
nothing to
this
complain
is in my
about,
household.
you
Like,
know?
so what I'm hearing is that your dad is a little bit more on the, like, leaning towards the, like, so there's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset, and your dad is more leaning on the spectrum towards a growth mindset, whereas my dad is very fixed,
Yeah.
very fixed. Like, he has flat out said multiple times, like, well, I was raised that way, so like that's all I know. That's how I'm gonna raise my kids. And I'm like, okay, sir, but that's why you're getting the results that you're getting, because your children are products of the US also, and like different experiences. Like, my brothers have their own experiences, but like me, like, you put me in school. So I might have learned a thing or two. I may have been what's the word? Not explored, exposed. I might have been exposed to like other ways of thinking, and I'm gonna challenge you. And also, that is something that was ingrained in me because I am my father's daughter. He will challenge anybody. And guess what? I'm gonna challenge him.
Yeah. And that's like what we should be doing, honestly. And that's the only way. And like Patty and I have a lot of these conversations, and even now you're hearing it, it's a little bit different within our household. It doesn't mean like we go through the same things in different ways.
Yes.
And
And
I
also at
feel like
different times.
exactly. And I feel like that happens with a lot of you that are probably listening and just the people around us, even like a lot of conversations that I have with my friends and my little cousins, like, certain family members that it's the same approach, and it's a constant cycle of like, well, we're here, we brought you to, like, we gave you this life for you to do better, for you to like do this. But okay, well, you chose that, like, like,
Yeah.
the
And
constant struggle.
yeah, but also, like, I think it's more so of a, like, I don't think they're viewing it in like, wow, look at what I was able to produce because of all their struggles, because of their resilience. They were able to give us this opportunity, and this was always like my understanding of like every generation should want the next generation to be better than them. But I feel like, at least in my household, I don't feel that from my dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes from my mom too, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because they're like, well, we had to do this, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to like do something different or challenge the tradition or the norm, it's like, well, why? Like, if we did this, it's like, I don't know. There's like, I don't want to get too ahead because I know we're going to get to that part,
Yeah.
like another topic, but it's just, there's just so much.
No, but right now that you're saying that, like, just thinking out loud, honestly, it's because of their own insecurities, because they were not able to do the things that we are doing now. They take it out on us. Like, I have this a lot with my mom. There's a lot of things, like, there's different mindsets and stuff. And yeah, that happens a lot. Like, it's like, oh, well, you never want to spend time here and this and that. And like, what are you, like, and
Ay,
that,
es
like,
hermana de mi mamá. Sí,
pero
son
con tus
hermanas.
amigos y con la Patty.
Oh, well, yeah, because why would I want to be
like, constantly
yelled at all the time?
But it's like that. Like, it's like they would, what Patty mentioned, like, they should want us to do better than them at this. Oh, something on my lash. You probably saw that little twitch right there on the camera. But they should want us to do better than them. They should want us to, at this age, whatnot. Like, it's a completely different life that we're living now to what they lived at that time. But it's their own insecurities, and they're scared of us wanting to break that.
Yeah.
Because why? They're going to consider it, we're rebellion. Like,
they're going to lose control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel, maybe it's even deeper. Like, they're afraid to actually lose us.
Yep.
Bye. We're that meme that's going to disappear. Oh shit!
Vanishes.
We gotta figure out how to edit in a reel.
We'll like insert him in between.
Oh my god, dude, that is so funny because that's literally us. But I think that's what it is, deep down. But because of, again, like, tradition. Let's go back to tradition and just customs in our culture. They don't talk about their feelings. They don't. Yeah. My family doesn't talk about anything. My parents do not talk about anything. Yeah. They sleep on it. Next day act like nothing happened. Yeah. But it's like, okay, deep down there's probably like, is it insecurity? Maybe it's fear. Like, what if you're going to fail? Okay, that's how I learn. Mm-hmm. Literally at work. Yep. Everything is trial and error. You problem solve. And I think this is another thing. Also being educated, being in like working, being in corporate America. You just have to figure it out. Yeah. And I don't think they realize that because we have like, oh, you guys are just sitting at a desk on calls, like you don't have to do hard work. You're not up on your feet. But it's like, okay, write this email. Yeah. Okay, go do everything that I have to do in a day and make sure and do it with a smile on my face. Make sure that everyone is aware. And also, at the same time, I'm getting like a million different directions thrown at me from all over parts. I need to make sure that everything's okay. Do you have a process in place? Yeah. You do that. You get overwhelmed with fucking having to call to like set up your doctor's appointment now.
Everything constantly. And that's like so real because recently I had.
Did you set up a doctor's appointment?
No, well, I did, but guys, I was down bad. No, but recently I had like.
I forgot. Sorry, bitch, I forgot.
I was down bad, y'all. No, but recently I had like a kind of a mental breakdown. I got home, guys, and I was just so overwhelmed. And we were at the dinner table and we were having dinner and I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. But I was hungry. So I ate and Priorities. I was like, and then I was okay. Like, I'm leaving. My dad's like, are you good? I'm like, no, like, I don't want, like, just don't talk to me right now. Right. And then, whatever, he starts asking, and like the more they ask you, are you good? Bitch, I told you I'm not good, but
leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, and then like digging, so then I finally like just broke, and I was like, I'm so fucking stressed out. There's all of these things all around me. I'm getting home at this time, it's fucking 8 p.m. I'm barely eating. I gotta go to sleep. I have to wake up. Like, there was just all of this, and then he looked at me. He took a moment, and he let me have it, and then he said, but why are you stressed out? Do you see me coming home and complaining? You have to let it go at work. I'm like, You cannot let it go at work. I have to pretend like I'm fucking fine and put that shit together. I got to get it done regardless. And I'm like, here,
Bitch,
I'm telling
yes.
you, so even that, like, it's like, what do you have to complain about? Okay, just because we completely different professions, like in here, like this,
Bitches, we're fucked up.
like, come on,
Bitch, help me.
And I'm like, I just told you why. Like, oh my God. But after he's like, I was like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna like go into my room right now.
Yeah. But I think it also goes back to like our lived experiences. It's literally what you said. Like the title of this podcast is El Efecto. We are literally impacted by everything that happens around us. And I saw a TikTok fairly recently, and I sent it to a few people. I probably sent it to you, but it was this woman saying like, for those of you working in corporate America, like people don't understand if they're not in corporate America. Like we talk for a living. We are constantly on. We are constantly doing this, doing that, doing blah, blah, blah. So when we go home, when we are in our personal lives, shutting down is very much needed. And I felt so seen by that because I've always been that way. I just need to recharge when I'm around people. I can be an extrovert, but I get exhausted because that's like I have to be on, blah, blah, blah. I get home. I want to be mute. I don't want to talk. There's times where we're hanging out. We're just in each other's presence.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything. She'll pass me a thing. Do you want this to eat? I'm going to go get coffee. Like,
just chilling.
And we're just there. But that is so true because like, yeah, they're probably like, oh, hi, how are you? But it's at a different level because the stress, you send one wrong email, you can fuck everything up. You expose something, but you say something confidential before it's supposed to be out, bitch. And that just heightens the stress. And then that leads to, are you actually trustworthy? Can you actually do the job? Do we have to relook at your workload? Like, and then you feel like you're not like meeting expectations. And then all the negative self-talk starts to come in.
100%. It's like, and then that constantly being on, and then you touch on something because it's when we come back home, we want to be mute, we want to be in our own world. However, within our culture, within the traditions, it's always like, pues tu familia, tienes que llegar a la casa, tienes que, have those conversations. And it's a prime example of what I just mentioned, like in my household, and it's just always been that way. We have dinner together. It's rare when we don't, or if it's really just when my dad's at work, or there's times where I come home. And when I come home, even if I want to eat by myself, my dad comes and sits. I'm like, I'm like, and I know that like the intention is there, but it goes back to that. Like they do not understand that. They're like, well, why? Like we just want to eat together as a family. But it's like, I get that. Like, thank you. Like, and that's just something we're accustomed to. But it goes back to, like, even wanting to break that. Oh, pues nunca quieres estar. Like,
yeah, I can't do anything by myself without it becoming an issue.
Yeah.
Oh, and always. And it's just funny because in my household, I don't think we ever ate together. Yeah. I think when I was like little, we would eat together. But like once my brother was a teenager, like he would eat in his room, and there's a 5-year age gap, and I'd be like, I want to eat in my room.
Yeah.
So if he's not eating with you guys, why should I? Yeah. And then once I got older with school, like I was very big on like I'm not gonna eat until all my work is done, and also I'm on my own schedule now. Like, and really like my dad's the only one at home. My mom's working, so it doesn't really work. Yeah. Because I'm like, first of all, I'm not gonna wait. And also, if she's coming home, I'm on my way out of Soul Cycle. So, like, our schedules just don't match. But, no. And I think, again, we just want to say, like, we are recognizing the work that they have put in, everything that they've put in before to get us to where we are. We are so grateful for that. And I think it does go unnoticed sometimes. Like, I don't think it's a flat out, thank you so much. But I think we, like, take whatever they've taught us every day. Because the amount of times, we were talking about this yesterday in corporate, especially being Latinas in corporate America, like there's a lot we had to unlearn because, again, we don't talk about our processes, our feelings, anything. And it's very much put your head down and just go to work. But when you are in the office, if you want to move up, you need to talk about yourself. You need to get new exposures.
Literally hype yourself up.
Yeah, you have to network. You have to take on things more than what's already on your plate. You have to act like the next role that you want to get in order to get it. And it kind of goes against everything. Like, oh, like you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to be a star student. And then they're going to look at that and then I'm going to get the role. No, babe. No, because I promise you, Felicia Anna, whoever the fuck, they're out there networking their asses off.
Yeah.
And I've always said this. My career skyrocketed when I started doing that.
Yeah.
The minute I was like out here, like, oh, who are you? I didn't know you. Blah, 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 blah. This is my like 2 minute. Like, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is where I want to go. Let's connect.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's one thing like that. Once I got into corporate America, it literally that easily I started Patty would like have conversations about me, but that's the one thing I noticed. I had to network so much. And then even the relationships that I made when I first started on to like now, like that's what brought me to the current position that I'm in. It's really just having those conversations and it's really hyping yourself up. But Patty like made a good point. It's like a lot of these things that our family and within our culture and our people are very hardworking. That's one thing. Like at the end of the day, our people are very hardworking. It's ingrained in us. We had this conversation as well where it's like we give it our like we just work hard. We do it. We get it done
without even trying.
Yes.
Though, like it's like effort. It's autopilot,
just natural,
because we come from those people.
Yeah, and it's like constantly. It's like like there's so many situations in work where I'm like doing it and I'm just like, oh, well, I'm not thinking twice about it. Like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like that's just like, like, okay.
Like it's just like to us, it's nothing.
Yeah.
I was telling Mely how I literally just had my year in review and like they were telling me all these things. And one of the, puta madre, Mely just gave herself a chinchon. Just kidding. But no, like my manager was telling me, she's like, you don't understand, like, this is a superpower of yours. And I was just like, I mean, I guess. But she was like, no, you don't understand. Like, I don't know. She was like, not everyone is able to do all that you do. She was like, you are so organized. She's like, my old team used to call me a machine because I would just like find processes. I'm all about like, let's streamline things. Let's make things a little bit more efficient. Bitch, anything. I come in, if something takes me too long, I'm like, I can make this faster. How can I put this on autopilot so that it can just go and then I can teach somebody else to do it so that then that way they're doing it.
Yeah.
Period. I'm upscaling them. Yeah. And that's just how my brain works. And even me, like, explaining that to her, like, she just looked at me and I could see, like, a twinkle in her eye and she's like, yeah. She's like, that's a superpower. And I'm like.
And it's like, for us, we don't think twice about it,
Because I just think about, like, my parents. Like,
yeah,
they just work so hard.
Exactly.
Like, it's just, like, I always say my mom can sell milk to a cow.
No, literally. And my Nina can't get, and it's also, it's the way she carries herself for her persona. And it's because that's what she's had to do her entire life too. And same thing goes with like my dad. We've talked about this slightly before, but I'm also in the position and I'm grateful. Yes, it's myself, but I'm in the position I am also because of my dad and like his work ethic, the way that he like, is so just, he put himself out there for me, like a lot of these other things. And that's what like Patty just said, like, we're not taking that for granted. It's just, it goes back to just those mindsets and the way that, Yeah.
I feel like being first generation, being Latina, even like in corporate America or not in corporate America, it's like balancing being independent and being like, or an individual and tradition, because our culture and our tradition is very much, like you said, like about our familia. It's not individual. Yeah. But like being American, where they always say los gringos piensan más en ellos mismos. Yeah. And because, again, somos de aquí y de allá, we have both. Like, and that's okay. Like, it's like just because we want to do things for ourselves or like feel like an individual, do our own thing, have our own things separate from our family or just things for ourselves. Like, that is healthy. But because it's unknown to them or just not the norm, it's seen as bad.
Yeah. And that, like, it's like being selfish, you have like some sort of like guilt because of that, because it's so looked down upon, It's like, oh, but like your family are like, at the end of the day, we have to stick together, this and that. It's like, okay, but stick together for what? For like, how's my well-being? And like, I feel like that's
1,000%.
a lot of things that all of us like, struggle with and constantly have to go through that battle between, oh my God, like, my well-being and like the voices in your head coming, well, not, I guess not the voices in your head, the voices coming from your family, like this, that. And then it's toxic because then you're back to like you're arguing at home or you're going through all of this. It's the same thing every time. And then I'm like, wait, but for my sanity, like I need to do what's best for me, like for us, So yeah, like that, like it's a constant struggle.
Yeah, it's really hard because my mom always says like whether this can be anything, tradition. If she hears something, it could be something about like I don't know, like I'm gonna use funerals top of mind because we just had to go to one, but like in our family we're used to like services being a certain way, like you have a rosario one day, you have like people coming over, blah blah, visiting, blah blah. In other families, other cultures, they don't do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's more so in other culture. Okay, it's like fine, but if you're another Latino and you guys don't do it that way, it's like pero siempre ha sido así. It's supposed to be that way. And my mom always says that with things, and I'm like, no, that's just the only way that you've ever known.
Yeah.
I was like, because you don't know about other people. One, you are around a lot of like-minded individuals, or I think at work, she has some coworkers that are like from other ethnicities and nationalities, or no, she has coworkers from other ethnicities, and I think there's a lot of similarities, but she notices differences. But again, within just like the Latino culture, she's very much like, but it's always been that way. And I'm like, okay, but that's just because that's all you know.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't talked to another person, or you haven't gone somewhere else and be like, oh, that's cool. Like, I want to do that too.
Yeah. No, that 100%. I'm laughing because that was literally, that's how my mom is, and they're sisters.
Bruh.
So
no DNA test needed.
But that also shows that's how they, like Patty said, that's all they know. That's how they were brought upon. That's how they were raised.
And again, I just want to specify, it's not a bad thing. We're not saying it's a bad thing.
100%. It's just
because I know your mom's gonna be like,
oh my God. No, and it just goes back to that. That's all they know. Yeah. And it's like, and just because they're trying to pass that down to their children, because it goes that's all our family knows. That's what they're trying to, pass down to us, our cousins. And if one of us or whatnot in the future, who knows? Like maybe we want to do things differently. And it's like, they freak out. I'm like, it's okay. Like that's just what happens. Things evolve.
¿Qué va a decir la gente?
Well,
period. Say it louder, because I literally do not give a fuck.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay.
Like my parents love to be like, I don't care what people say, but the second I want to do something that is different or that is not aligned with the tradition, oh, you can't do that. Da, da, da. And that's my dad's voice. Yeah. You can't do that. Da, da, da. And I'm like,
I can.
I'm going to do it, whether you like it or not, because at the end of the day, it's my life.
Period.
So it's either you're going to be in it or not.
Yeah.
Period.
She ate. Mic drop.
Mic drop.
No, but yeah, and I think Patty already said this, but it's like it sounds like it's complaining, but it's really, guys, it's not. It's just the way that things are. We want to have open and real conversation, just because of our past episode, things that we're starting, like, I mean, things we're going through right now, and just in general within our community or culture. And like there's a lot of things that, oh my God, I don't know where I was going. There's a lot of people that I know that go through the same thing. So it's really us being vulnerable. It's not like we're saying, oh my God, we're like, we have the worst life. No, we're very lucky.
No.
We're very privileged. And like, but it's just, again, it's just, we're trying to break those cycles, break those traditions. And it's just,
like nothing is perfect. Again, we are so grateful for what they have given us, and they have given us such a strong foundation to build on. And I think that's the thing. Like, I'm such a visual person, so I always think about like that saying where it's like someone's ceiling is another one's floor. So like our parents' ceiling is our foundation. That's our floor. Yeah. We're supposed to build off of that.
Damn, I love that. Yeah. And I was like envisioning
because I'm such a visual person.
Yeah, I could see it.
Because they would always say like, and that's how it should be, generation over generation over generation. Like, so then your bloodline, eventually you guys will have like a very tall building. But again, like in theory, that's what it is. But then again, when there's emotions involved, or
Yeah.
and I think a lot of it is what you were saying, like it is insecurities a lot of the times, and having insecurities, like it's normal. Again, we're not saying it's like a bad thing. Like everyone has insecurities, and insecurities literally could just be like, ugh, like, damn, like she's really doing better than me. Okay, that's what you should want. You should
Yeah.
want your children to be better than you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, be great. Like, yeah, like it's like
That's a reflection of what you
you've
did.
done.
Like you
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
that.
And it's
You
like,
literally did that.
and that's like the
You ate with that one.
Yes. And
My
it's a
parents,
constant
un aplauso para mami y
praise.
papi porque me la rompieron. Period.
I'm fucking dead. But that's true. It's like, like, oh, well, I did this for you. I came here for you. Like, all of this.
Yeah,
Right.
and look at everything I've been able to do because
Like,
you did that.
Thank you.
Look at everything I've been able to do because you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, like we are able to have these conversations with each other because this is a safe space. And I think because we are primas and like our family dynamic, we understand that. And also like we are the generation that's like, okay, we're first gen. We understand the struggle of like trying to do our own thing, live our life for ourselves. And it looks like we are like going against the tradition, but we're just trying to break the cycle.
Yeah, and even like the constant things that we do, like, okay, we want to go, like, get up and go here, like, or whatever. And even, guys, starting this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I know that was like a big thing separately. Like, it's like, I think they understood, but they didn't understand. And they're like, okay, we're here to support. But I think constantly, like, even us being vulnerable, like, probably even having this conversation, at least I know for myself, because I know my mom will see this. It's that constant, like, okay, well, I don't know, in her head to that point, like, ¿qué va a decir la gente? Or it sounds like constantly complaining. And it's like, no, this is just a different way of me expressing myself and being vulnerable in ways that I can't do that with you. So if this is a way for her to listen into that, then it is what it is.
Turn the volume up,
Yeah, but it's like, it's really like, that's something that's so different for them. And it's I guess it taps into that fear because it's like you want to project that within the household, within everything is so perfect, everything is so good.
Girl.
And it's like that
It is not.
Yeah. And we've had like conversations about this when certain episodes came out and whatnot. And I think slowly it's trying to understand, but it goes back to it's still what they know and how they perceive things and whatnot. It still doesn't align with what we're doing, so
Yeah.
it's a little freak out. But
1,000%. And I think this is also why, and the difference is also, and I think we've mentioned this before, like my parents are a bit older than your parents. And also, like, even though our moms are sisters, my mom is on like, she's in the like the top half of the 10 and your mom's in the bottom half of the 10. So their mindset is just different. Like my mom was very much like she listened to her parents. Like she has a lot of fear still. And like my parents are just very old school, like fixed, super fixed. Your parents, they understand like this a little bit more. Like when I say this, I mean like social media and whatnot. Because like for the longest time, like my mom was very against social media, period. Like my dad still thinks it's dumb. Like why? Because they would always say like, se toman un pedo y luego lo ponen en Facebook. Like, but it's so funny because now I look at his phone and he gets like Facebook notifications, but because he wants to see shit from Mexico. Yeah, so like to Mely's point, like her mom will most likely see this. My parents don't watch this, but I know for a fact like my tias are the ones showing my mom or like telling her, oh, did you see this? Blah, 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 blah. And again, they're like, pues, ¿qué va a decir la gente? How, like, oh my God, why are you talking about that? Because all of us, like, we are from a generation where all of us feel the same thing. Like, we come from a household where no one talks about anything. And that is an issue.
Yeah.
Like, the reason your marriage isn't working is because you guys don't talk. Like, babe, leave that man.
No.
Leave that man. Move that bus.
I'm like,
move that bus.
No.
Everyone feeling attacked right now.
No, for real. And it's also funny because, again, because we have this platform, we feel comfortable talking about this, but even within our own family, people are our same age. And they might not agree with certain things that we're even talking about right now. But again, it goes back to what they.
But why? Why don't you agree?
Yeah, and
break it down.
And then I feel like, you know, for them, it kind of goes back to how their parents raised them within their household individually, but it still stems down from the same thing that we're talking about right now.
1,000%.
So it's like, you know, if there's certain things, why are they talking about certain things? Because we want to. And it's like, it's our podcast.
Yeah, and also,
you know?
why is it an issue?
Yeah.
It's an issue because it's made to be this whole thing, but no, we're just having a conversation because there are so many people who are listening to this, watching this, or just out there in the world that are literally struggling with what we're talking about, but they feel like, I can't talk about this because it's taboo, or like, I'm going to be looked at differently. We are here to break cycles. We're here to break things that are hidden behind the word tradition, which is actually just toxicity. Not all traditions, and I'm not saying not all traditions are toxic. There are a lot of traditions in our family that I love, and our culture that I love.
Yeah.
But like, not talking about your feelings, not caring about what your children think, like, break that shit.
Yeah.
And I will say a lot of our cousins are breaking that.
Yeah.
Like, alone. Like, a lot of our cousins are on both sides of the family. Like, the way they are choosing to raise their children or future, or just how they're living their life, let them, they're not hurting anyone. They have good values. Like, just because they're doing something different doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's something, like, even recently there was a conversation being had, like Patty said, we had just some family things. And it was literally, there was a moment where it was like, who gives a fuck? Do whatever you gotta do. Yeah,
but that's what I was thinking. Yes. That's literally what I was like, we all were like, who cares?
And it's like,
who literally cares?
And that is like, again, if it was our parents, it would, like, it's more about, like,
I already know
a different
I know for a
way
fact
of thinking, and like
if
all this.
And when I ever get married, all hell's gonna break loose with my parents. With one parent more than the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, but yeah, like, and I'm like, and thank God, like, that is really, like, it's, again, that's what we should be doing, just focusing on ourselves.
And also, like, we have these, like, back and forth, like, oh, this and that. So that shows that we actually do care what our family is going to think, because we do love them. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's our life. Yeah. Like, we have to do things for ourselves.
Yeah. And life is fucking short, guys. That's one thing. We've said it, but life is short.
Yeah, and we literally need to take up space without feeling guilty.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, the biggest, I think that is, like, the biggest challenge. And that goes back to, like, what I was saying about, like, corporate America, like, having to take up space and feeling awkward. Because, again, we're taught to, like, you can do everything. You can do whatever you want. You can dream as big as you want. But just don't draw too much attention to yourself. Like, I have a really big personality. My dad is very much like, shh. Like, if I'm being, like, if I get excited about he's like, oh, be quiet. Like, relax. Like, I'm like, boy, bye.
Yeah. Like, I'm literally being me. No, but, and it's true. Like, even just, taking up space within corporate America, taking up space, like, even, guys, like, when I'm traveling and stuff, there's certain, like, sometimes, you know, there is that guilt. But it's all, like, and then it's all here. It's all here, and it's all because back to those, you know, voices at home, whatnot, that constant, like, just, I don't know, just feeling guilty, like, oh my God, my parents, like, don't do this. And then I snap out of it, I'm like, no, bitch, what the fuck? Like, you're here.
Because of them, you're able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And but it goes back to, it's just the guilt. Like, it's just ingrained. And then, like, and then one thing, like, as well, it's like, we, as Latina women, we as just Latinas, like, bring such a different perspective.
Latina women and Latinas are the same thing.
We as Latina women, and we as just, like, we as Mexican.
It's giving, I like to thank not only Jesus, but God. That's literally what you gave right now. Because, bitch, I don't know if you know, but Latina refers to a woman.
No, but we as Latinas, and I guess just, like, Mexican, we bring such a different perspective to anything like that. I guess anything that we do, honestly. And that's one thing within work. Like, it's like, we talked about this last episode, but, you know, we're just more empathetic. But not even, that's just comes naturally as women. But as Latinas, that might, like, that different perspective. And you know, and it still goes back to everything we've been taught along the way from our aunts, from our grandparents, from all of our like ancestors and the people that came before us. Like, it's really like I put myself in sometimes in these situations where I'm like, oh, like how would like, you know, this person approach this, or how would Patty like approach this? And it's really just bringing all of that perspective.
No, bitch, no, 1,000%, and not even like the way you're thinking, but how you show up, how you do things. Because I, growing up, always thought corporate America, you had to be very like, basically, don't show your as a Latina, pull back my personality, pull back all the extraness. Like I had my dad in my head, like you need to be like poised, because when you think corporate America, you think white.
Yeah.
You don't think brown. You don't think people of color, especially you don't. A lot of people don't think women, but hopefully, we're like people now. I'm hoping.
Example.
I'm hoping today, in today's age, when people think corporate America, they think different ethnicities. They think women. They think everyone. But even just like how you show up to work, like how you look, like having a little flavor.
Yeah.
When I talk to people, like I literally have conversations with my VP, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this and this and this. And she'll like tell me something. I'll be like, girl, it's like, I'm not even there yet. Like I let the personality. I remember at a presentation when this was earlier in my career. This was like the make or break presentation that got me promoted to like the next level. And I was so nervous. I went first. I was sick the day before. This was the only day there. And then the next day we went to Vegas. That was when we went to go see Karol G. And I was up there and I put my slide up, and I was presenting on like a piece of furniture, like with a specific name. And I saw one of the managers like lean over to her manager and was like, what the hell is up? Blah, blah, blah. And I heard her and I was like, girl, don't worry, because I'm about to let you all know what this is. And that's how I opened up. It like broke the ice. And I felt so comfortable because I was myself.
Yeah.
And I've said this last time, but like when and also because I felt safe. So when you show up as like yourself, when there's comfort, when you feel safe, there is so much magic that gets created. You just have to tap into it.
Yeah. And that is so important, because even like in the team and environment that I'm in now, I have not that part. I've never felt more safe, and which is why I've been able to grow and excel within that open communication, being myself, and then that just helps our relationship as a team, as one, and it just creates that dynamic. So that is very, very important. Whereas in the past, it wasn't like that. There were still things that I was catering, like, you know, closing certain things down. And like, for example, at the past, I was basically supporting 3 different individuals. I was a different person with each individual because I had to adapt to certain styles until the end with at least 2 or 3. And actually, no, the last one, when I was myself and I put myself out there and I shut things down that I did not like just because I felt disrespected, that changed our relationship dynamic forever. It was like, oh shit, okay, like, you know
that happened to me in a situation. How when you stand up, you stood up for yourself.
You stood up, yeah. And it's like after that, it was like, oh shit, okay, I can't, like, it changed that completely.
She said, "Bitch, you better recognize."
I was like, no,
wrong bitch.
Like, yeah, and it goes back. I'm like, you are not gonna talk to me like that. It doesn't matter what your status is. Like, he had the capacity to like fucking fire me on the spot, But it's like, no, like that's not okay, like, But yeah, it just goes back to like being yourself. And once you finally did that, it just changed my relationship with that person, with that team completely. And it was because I was myself.
Yeah. So basically, in conclusion, we understand that our parents, it took a lot, and even our grandparents, our great grandparents, like the suffering does not go unnoticed. Yeah. There is so much, but I think that's why there's so much resilience within our people, within Latinos, period. That's why Latinos aren't going anywhere, baby. And we're not. We're going to continue taking up space. And we acknowledge that. Yeah. We see it in our everyday. The reason I am the way I am, whether my parents want to agree or not, is because of them.
Yeah. 100%.
I see how they talk to people, and I'm like, I like how you got that answer, so I'm going to take that. Or I like how Mely did that. I'm going to take that. I like this for my grandma. I'm going to take that. We are literally like a reflection of our experiences.
And everyone around us.
Yes. But yeah, so just make sure to go out there, and we just want to close out with some positive affirmations because, again, we're still celebrating International Women's Month, and this episode wasn't necessarily geared specifically towards the ladies, so this is definitely open to everybody. But because, it's still our month, we just gotta
throw that in there.
Throw this in there. But we just have 3 affirmations that we want to share. So the first one is, you are allowed to take up space.
You are allowed to take up space.
Okay, let's say it together one more time. You are allowed to take up space. Period.
Okay, the next one is, your voice deserves to be heard.
Your voice deserves to be heard.
One more time.
Your voice deserves to be heard. Damn. And then our last one. Oof. Yeah, bitch. This one eats. Pour the shots. You can honor your culture without losing yourself.
You can honor your culture without losing yourself.
Damn. Okay, we got to do that one together. You can honor your culture without losing yourself. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
We will see you in the next one.
Make sure.
Don't forget to
comment, like, subscribe.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye. Bye.